Welcome back, Crush a Lot Podcast. I'm your boy Cheese. We're back in the studio, and when we're in the studio, you know, Kalina's here as well, in person. Kalina all the way from Miami. How are you?
I'm happy. I'm happy because I finally get to come here and it's not cold and raining. Okay, every time I come, weather's terrible. Bad mood.
This has always been the common thing when we link up. It's raining, cold, snow,
Not fire.
something, and I
Not
love
fire
it.
for me.
And now we're in the heat, and I'm already dreading the Brooklyn apartments and the AC shutting off. But that's hip hop, right? And people wondering, the episodes haven't been coming out as regularly. Listen,
Busy. We've
been
stuff.
busy. Quality control on the vinyl, which is right now. The test preps are on the way.
Nice.
So I gave them your address, so you'll get that. And there's only one thing that was gonna get me out of my break. I was taking a little break. I was like, nah, I can't pass this up. I can't pass this up. I gotta make it through. I'm so excited to have returning to the Crush a Lot Podcast, one of hip hop's emerging superstars in the game, releasing multiple projects in the last couple of years. Second time on the show. Mi gente, my God, UFO Fev is here. Fev, how are you?
What's up, Cheese? Thank you for having me. Peace, y'all. What's up, y'all? Chilling?
Good.
I am excited.
Yeah, man. Me too, man. Always a pleasure to be here.
Opportunity to have you here again.
That's what's up.
Last time we talked, Emigres just came out. It was about to come out.
Damn.
A lot of hype around that project. Saw that EP with DJ Hart. And really what we talked about when we were together is really how your pen game was really... The way you write was so intimate for people in New York, like the language, the slang, the storytelling.
Right.
And I always thought that there was a bridge there to break into a different audiences because of the way you just write and the way people feel your music. But since that project, there has been, it's only gotten like higher and higher and higher. You dropped the album with Statik Selektah. You had the Terminology produced joint as well. Of course, the stuff with Big Ghost, which was like a big moment.
And with Frank the Butcher.
And Frank the Butcher.
And the EP.
And how has this ride been for you? Because it seemed like it's just been going and going and
that's like
higher and higher and higher. The Cavs got to be brolic by now.
That's like a special class, right? Of like people, like if that was like a school class, that's like the special class, like Frank the Butcher. You know what I'm saying? They don't really come outside for people, so for them to work to reach out, it mean a lot. So I know I had to deliver and do what I had to do. But as far as the constant elevation twin, it just comes with consistency, trying to do better. You know, I don't see myself doing anything to hinder anything that could stop the progress. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to move forward. So even if I gotta chill and fall back for a little while and hit the drawing board again and try to figure out how can I get to somebody that's gonna help me get to the next level, then I'm not afraid to do that. So that pretty much comes with the game too. I aspire to hit new heights all the time.
Right, we've been seeing a lot more of you though. I feel like you've been a lot more social lately.
Yeah,
more
right?
vids, more pics, more. I feel like you've been doing a lot, and it kind of shows your skill set. You know, you know how to rap, you know how to do this, but also, you know, people get to see another side of you when you're outside.
Right.
You're mingling with new people or artists or producers, so I think this is a big plus for you.
Thank you.
Considering that you just came out with a new single about 5 days ago, Magnum Opus.
Yep.
And you're also gonna have an album actually called the same thing, Magnum Opus, right? How'd you come up with that name?
That's a good question, Cal. It was really it was actually called Inception, and then as I started working on it more and more, across my studies, I came across like what Magnum Opus represents to like alchemy, and also in the spiritual world, like taking your what they believe is the soul is and alchemy is to take the lead and transform it into gold, transmutate it into gold. That's like the ultimate process. That's how you become the alchemist. In the spiritual world, it's the same thing, but your soul is considered the lead. So if you could take your soul and break yourself down and then rebuild yourself into a new being, then that's considered like the ultimate thing in the spiritual world. That's like becoming God. So every belief, like from 5%ers to Rastas, everyone has that same belief of breaking yourself down and becoming closer to God. So when I came across that, and then Magnum Opus just meaning a great work. I've been working on this album for so long, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too. Well, how long have you been working on this? Because it doesn't seem like coincidental, you know. You have the single, this is the name, and then the album. So to me, it seemed like, well, maybe this seems more than just, you know, like a quick bag.
Right. Now I've been working. I know it's unbelievable, and I don't do it to like the young guys would say clout chase, but like none of my music is really like besides the Frank the Butcher stuff. Because I was so excited to like meet him and stuff. I never met him. I recorded that quick, but everything else is like always like a year or something. But this project specifically, like, all right, so kind of to give you context, like working with Statik and Term in those projects, those are like collaborative projects.
Yeah.
I'm working with those guys. There's also like music I do. You know what I'm saying? With like my in-house producers, the guys nobody know. That's like,
what we want to know. That's what I also wanted to know. Who really worked on this with you, like producer wise?
So the producer, his name is Stir. He's a young man. He's not into the music. See, that's the thing. Like the guys I work with, like they not into. Like he has a day job. He's very successful in his day job. He has a family. He just bought a house. He drives a nice. He comes to the studio to listen to the music and he smokes a cigar. Like he's a little heavier dude, and he comes in the studio, he sits down, he got his big ring on, and he sits down and he smokes his cigar.
That's his moment,
like,
that's his time.
He be like, damn, Fev, this shit sound crazy, you know, and he'll email me every beat he makes. So like that's my heart. I've been with him since like 2015. So we actually been working on a project since like 2016, 2017. There's a lot of songs I didn't make it. You know, I've always shifting the track list, always creating, and there's like 2 new songs that I added that we threw on, but overall, to get back to the answer, was Magnum Opus just represented it, because in the timeline of things, when I drew it on my board, I was like, I got fresh air, I got this. When I drew everything out, I was like, these projects that are mine, they're like my better works.
Right.
Like they're me, you know what I'm saying? They're my sound, they're my rhythm, they're everything. Like it's not a collaborative effort, it's straight out feed. With my in-house producers, they'll email me the stuff and we'll come up with ideas, or I'll tell them like I'm going to the studio tomorrow, and I'll just send them mad stuff and they'll be like, damn, Fee, this is crazy. So that's why I felt like Magnum Opus represented it, because it's like a work I'm presenting to you guys that's like my great work, like me. It's all Fee.
That's great. We're looking forward to it. You know,
Thank
I feel
you.
like you've really had a moment. You haven't had your moment. Like I feel like this could be it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like about this title, because as someone who listens to your music closely and with always, every time I know a project comes from you, I have anticipation with it. Hip hop is a very interesting thing, because you can like music and you can like hip hop, but when you get to meet people and know people, you just root for them and like them, so their music just means more. And you're one of those people for me. We're Latino, we're fathers, we're from the same hood. I have all the connections there to want to see you win, right? But then as a critic of music, someone who consumes it in that way, because I guess the podcast forces me to kind of see it that way, every album since Emigres had been a step higher and a step higher and a step higher. For when I heard the title Magnum Opus, I'm like, all right, he went through these chambers, he went through these processes, not only making music, but growing a fan base as you do it, and smartly collaborating with people that will give you new audiences. Statik, Terminology, the Big Ghost, all those things. Yeah, rest in peace. Yes, all those things, all those producers have their different audiences, and I think most people, it's just a Statik. No, it's a different audience that you're attracting versus what Big Ghost is attracting, because that kind of collaboration cements you in the underground scene.
And it works out for him.
And
so
it
could be mainstream, and then it could be the underground scene. They're like, oh, who's this? You know.
Present.
Yeah, so I love that Magnum Opus. It's like, it makes sense to me. I'm like, all right, I've seen the growth in the last couple of albums. And I'm like, and then I heard some of this other.
So now you're ready for what?
Oh,
like,
I've been ready. I already
I
put the
appreciate
tax
that.
money onto the side for the
Now I
finals.
gotta thank you know, those guys for allowing me the platform. You know what I'm saying? The rock to let people hear me, where they wouldn't. I might give me a chance. You know what I'm saying?
But also that comes with skill too, because you know they could be critics too. They could be the worst crybaby critics. As a matter of fact.
Trust me. I love when they compete with each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you working on static stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to send you some heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like, that's how you know a producer takes his art, his craft serious as well. You know what I'm saying? When he works with an artist, he wants it to be separate from whatever else that artist is doing and better. So that makes the artist have, for me at least, I have to work twice as hard.
It's interesting, the market of music the way it is, especially for Latinos, because the pull to go to more of the Latino trap, urban Latino music is big because the money is there, and you know, I can, you know, I'm close with Super O, and he's, you know, he kind of, you know, he actually like kind of left the hip hop side to go to the.
I was just with him this week.
Yeah. So, and he's not, that's what he does. That's his whole brand now is around that, because that's kind of where the momentum is. Being Latino, Spanish, knowing the language, is there a pull to go there as well, somewhere in the future? Is there like, okay, that's where
you mean like with foresight? No, I don't have any foresight to go there, but
that's not it for you? That's not your vibe?
Nah, it's, you know, I love the music. I totally love the culture. I love the island and all that. But two things, you know, I'm like, my Spanish is not 100%. That's first and foremost. Is New Yorican, and then second of all, like, where I grew up is predominantly hip hop.
Right.
Yeah, like I grew up hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the projects where it was just black and Latinos. You know what I'm saying? And so we didn't really listen to none of that stuff. When my first dose of hearing what they now call reggaeton, it wasn't even called reggaeton. It was just straight like Evie Queen and shit.
Yeah.
Island, like
Vico C,
early days where it was just Spanish.
Before that, it was El General from Panama. That's where this is.
What's my man? Yo, God bless him. Yo, I used to chill with him all the time. That he did Don Chesina.
Yeah.
Shout out to Don Chesina. Where he used to be with us all the time in the hood. So like, it was just straight Spanish rap.
Right.
So
rap though, it was rap.
They was rhyming.
Rap, yeah.
Like, they was saying street stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But
it was
what
real,
it is
like,
now, it's kind of like more like a party, like more pop, mainstreamy sound.
Right.
But, you know,
I guess it's like a dance
wasn't.
hall represents more like a vibe now, as opposed to then it was street music.
And it wasn't really like popular, like, oh, you know, playing super everywhere. It wasn't like that.
No, because I remember my older cousins. I have some cousins from PR that when I used to go out there, they might be like maybe like 5 years older than me, but they used to go to the parties and stuff. And I remember being in the caseríos, and there'll be jams in the caserío, and that's all you would hear.
Yeah.
Like, beside the gunshots, it'll be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm from, you know, experiencing it from that side too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from New York. We don't sit next to the windows during summertime.
No way.
You sit to the side.
Oh yeah.
You sit to the side.
You don't never look out the window.
Never look out.
You know
don't be curious out there. Let that fire truck go by.
Yo, my grandmother would slap fire out me when I used to look out the window, bro. Because my window faced First Ave, so if anything would happen, I would always like. It will always happen right on my corner. I'll be out the window. My grandmother, oh yeah,
right.
slapping
It's
fire.
A no-go.
It's a no-go.
Yeah, but you know, the great thing about hip hop, just history-wise, is that hip hop was always in the house parties anyway, and it's always been. People get a little upset when it gets a little dancey here and there, but like, well, you know, house party hip hop was always alive and well. It kind of merged into different things. When you're thinking about your career, the next couple of years, because it seems you have a team and you have a vision, and you're kind of seeing where the market is. Because even when you drop albums, it just seems really well spaced out. I don't feel like there's a new album all the time, and I'm like, this is too much feed for me.
Yeah,
like,
I never feel like he's rushing it or he's just trying to be and do the most. I never feel that.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel that. Like I
really don't know how to do that. I've tried. Trust me, yo, man. I've been
it's not in people. It's not in some people.
But then it's like, sometimes the music comes out good. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll do something in a rush and it'll be good, and you gotta work. You know, I also understand. I'm kind of like, see, the thing is, I'm coming to realize the dichotomy of like who Fev is. Like, I'm underground, but I'm also getting to see things like other artists never get to see, being around crack and stuff like that. I get to understand a whole type of realm of stuff that some people in like the quote unquote underground scene don't want no parts of. Right. They never want to make a record that they got to put money behind. They never want to try to shoot a video that's going to cost 10 bands. They don't want no parts
of it. That's right, but it's very, very easy for them to critique the same people in the underground and come out with really bad work. Well, why is it really bad? Because you don't want to put money into anything, into the producers.
They don't even get it mixed. I mean, shout out to V. He know, man, some of this stuff I be listening to don't even be mixed. I'll be like, damn. So you paying to record and they letting you leave the studio without a mix? Like, and that's what you putting out? Like, damn, bro, we got to get our business straight. But I'm also learning some of these dudes don't even have publishing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't got no, you know, you go to get information from them, they don't got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know, it's all a learning curve for some.
It's a learning curve. We got publishing, by the way.
Yeah, we straight. We, you know, over here we straight.
I took care of that early on.
Yeah,
you guys heard that.
we got
good over here. Everybody's taking care of the splits, man. So.
We own our music. Yeah. For the record, it's on contract.
So yeah, twin. Pretty much that's what it is. When you kind of like experiencing the business, or you seeing people like play with big money, and you like, oh, I mean, every artist's dream is to have everybody in the world singing at least one of your records. You can't say you making music and you don't want nobody to sing your music. Right. Then you know, it's like you could listen to that yourself, make it for yourself. But at the end of the day, when you putting it out to the people and you making music, I would hope eventually your goal is to make something. It don't gotta be everything, but you want something that the mass is gonna just take. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that brings you after that, you do what you do.
We had a taste of that one night when I think it was Stalker. I think I'm gonna give credit to Stalker. Somehow our song got on the radio, and it was the first track of that night for We Were Late with, and I was like someone growing up in New York, Hot 97 era.
All right, now let me ask you a question, twin. Yeah. Let's say your music comes on Sunday night, Rosenberg plays it, feels amazing. Y'all felt accomplished, right? Now let's say y'all go in to make a record that y'all like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? Yeah. Would y'all approach that the same way y'all approached the record that y'all was giving away for free?
Yes, you have to. You have to, because it's still your name. You still gotta.
So you're gonna look at the record and be like, nah, this one gets treated like it's something we wanted to be another level. Then you're gonna have to put more into it.
Which you got to, but that comes from the individual, and some people don't got that. They don't got it. They're not.
So that comes with So that comes with like, if you have something that you feel like, damn, this is dope. Like this is really. It don't have to be a hit record. You ain't gotta put the 250,000 to get it on. But you be like, damn, I would like to get this service. I would like to put some money behind this. And
because it's about.
And we want good videos too. We pay for it. You know, we're going to pay for the video. We're going to pay for the art. So
that's where my mind is. That's where my mind is at, pretty much. Yeah, like when we do stuff, we want to be like, all right, we shot videos over here. Like, how does it feel to fly out a team and go shoot a video?
Yeah, how does it feel to look over, the bay or do something different?
And then you see that final product and you like,
video shoot in Miami. Next video in Miami. I'm on my way.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna walk down there. But I do think that. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that there's different entry points to your music, anybody's music, for different people. When I growing up and I went to the record store, the album cover spoke to me. If I fucked with the album cover, I pick up the album. I may not know what it is.
And we weren't allowed to. It's not like we were allowed to hear it. Well, not in the stores when I went in.
Well, there was
you just had to buy
back in the days, but like most early days, it's like, I don't know what this is, but art intrigues me enough to make me want to be curious about the record. I have tons of records.
Yeah, early on
like
we had
that.
no idea. I had no idea.
Hit or miss. Some of them are hit or miss, but I understand even now. I may not like that record, but I like that artwork, and that's why I'm gonna get it. And so there's a different entry point. So the art is important, the video is important, and that energy that you're portraying through the screen. Even when people come to the show, any show, one of the things I always tell people: try to prep them, learn how to represent yourself in the mic. Because
learn how to hold the mic.
And hold the mic, control it. What are you telling the people? Because people buy into that in hip hop, like I do.
They buy into you too, especially if they see that you're just a genuine, regular, cool person. They're going to see that. They're going to feel that.
And I know that from experience because there's people that I love, and then I met them. I was like,
no, tell me about it. Me too. I won't
and
say
I'm like,
names,
I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not gonna rush out to get that album, but I'm gonna, like, it's like that part of, like, that's why I think hip hop is so unique. If you fuck with someone, you think someone's genuine, you're gonna ride for them, and I think that's one of the captivating things about you is that you're sincere and earnest about the way your music. Like, I feel like I know who you are, and I think an example of that is the track you did with Ice Rocks. His compilation project, Grandma's. Yeah. It was a powerful song in terms, talking about families and the importance of older people in your lives and the influence they had. And, your pen game was just a great storytelling for New York City, New Yorican Latino households. So it was very, very poignant. And I had Ice Rocks. We're going to drop that episode soon, and he talked about, how you were writing it, and he was like, oh, I got a second verse coming. He's like, the first one was good as it is. Yeah. And so that is, like, the power of, like, your words and just being authentic. Like, I don't feel like you're storytelling me. I feel like you're telling your story in this way. How did that song come to be? Because it was just a very powerful song, and I might be sensitive to it because I have lost my grandmother recently. So like how was that song created? Where was your heart at when you were doing that?
The first verse we did, shout out to J Hart. Ice was dropping in on a lot of the sessions for Emigres. He was there for a lot of it. So and while he was doing that, he was like, "Yo, Fev, I got something for you." His studio was right next door to J Hart's. Yeah. So one day I just went across.
He's out in Queens, right?
At this time they was both in Brooklyn.
They're both in Brooklyn. Okay.
So I walked next door and I just was like, "Come on," he let me hear it, and the first verse I had it like, I might have had just wrote it like a day or two before, and when he played the verse, I was like, "Oh, like I got something for it." So when I kicked the verse, he was like, "All right." So I kicked that verse, and he was like, he was like, "What happened?" I left the studio, son. That happened. I had to leave the studio. I told him I was coming back, and it took like 8 months.
That's a long bathroom break,
yeah. It took mad long. Every time he saw me, he was like, "Yo, Fev, can I get that second verse?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got it," but I never had it. So I knew, like, to write it, I had to tune in. So one day he called me leaving J Hart's studio, and he was like, "Yo, like," he was like, "Yo, you want to go to the studio?" So I was like, "Come on, Ice." So we walked over to his joint. I'm getting chills. We walked over to his joint. And we sat down, and I had the second verse ready for him because I knew I was gonna see him. And I laid it, man, and he was like, we was listening to it, and again, I just left. I really ain't vibe with it. And when I guess he did his thing, mixed it up, he sent it to me. It was like a week before the project was coming out. Yeah. He was like, I seen him post something. And I was like, "Yo, I hope mine's is on that too." You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen him post the first single, and I was like, "Yo," like.
The first one was him, Ben the Butcher.
And Mayhem or something, right? And I was like, "Yo," I DM'd him like, "Yo," question marks, like, "What's up?"
What's
like,
the update?
Yo,
am I on the project?
Yeah. Like, you got some stars on there. Oh, what's up? Yeah.
You disturbed my 8-month bathroom break for a second verse. Like, am I on the project?
He was like, "Nah, Fev is actually on there, and it's fire." I was like, he was like, "Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you right now." And I listened to it for like the whole day because it kind of was like opening chambers for me, you know what I'm saying? Twin, I was like, damn, like I remember watching Thundercats or you know what I'm saying?
I told you, okay. Well, since you brought it up, that was my question
he was gonna ask
right
you
there.
this.
Because Lionel, I don't know about Lionel being the my favorite. I always went with Tigra.
Yeah, but you know what it was? Lionel was the first one. Lionel was the one that I always remembered.
Yeah.
So that's what made him because he used to be like, "Arr!" Like, he used to be like, "Arr!" He complained and he used to be scared and he never wanted to go.
Yeah.
So that's why I always remembered him. So that's what made the show for me. So that's what was the line. Because when I looked up, I remember saying Lionel was my favorite Thundercat, and then I had to look it up because I'm like, am I saying the right one? And then when I looked and I seen the picture, and I'm like,
the one with the sword and the claw.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. And he had the cat that was always and
you know what episode stays in my head? The one when he was hand wrestling the caveman for
Yeah,
hours. I don't know why. He was just hand wrestling him.
That's a fact. I remember that and Silverhawks.
Silverhawks, same company.
Yep.
Oh, we're nerding out right here.
Yeah,
we lost Kalina.
That's another podcast.
There's a whole 80s fandom
Word.
coming, UFO Fev, and she's coming.
First of all, I would just like you to know that I watched the Thundercats, alright?
Oh, so where you go?
Yeah,
Chitara?
I don't know.
Wiley Kid,
That's
Wiley
kind of
Cat?
how I
Panthro?
Yeah, that's a fact. I kind of nerd out. Like, I be watching everything.
I don't know about you, but Mum Rock kept taking too many L's, bro. He just needed to leave and go to another planet.
I wish they had like those joints on streaming services. I know Silverhawks was up on something. I forget what service it was on for a little while, but it's not no more. But I wish they would give us.
Hey, if you ever do a live action Thundercats, do not put Panthro and Vin Diesel together. Please don't do that.
Nah, Vin Diesel.
Leave Vin Diesel out of it. I don't want to see him as Panthro. Put someone else. And don't put The Rock as Lionel
that was
either.
my next line. Like, it's The Rock and Vin Diesel. They definitely in anything I got to do with action.
No. Let's not do that. Magnum Opus coming out
June 11th.
June 11th.
Yes, sir. June 11th.
Right around the corner. All your projects have been released in physical. Any plans for that around the corner as well?
This one is no vinyl. I'm probably do CDs, but I want like Albizo to be like the last vinyl I drop until I move forward. The next vinyl is probably gonna be Enigma. Actually, it is gonna be Enigma of Dolly. That's my joint with Vanderslice. So I moved into a space where I want the vinyl to be more like scarce and more valuable. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to every drop is a vinyl and people, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool, but I also want people to have, like, my stuff, like Supreme, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff that comes out, and if you got it, it's dope, and that's what it is.
Yep. If you're a collector, go to Tough Con. You could find most of the albums there. Or go hit up on the Bandcamp UFO to get some stuff there. If you don't want to pay the international shipping,
Word, because I got a garage. I got some vinyls in the garage. I need to get out of there,
And I think on Bandcamp you got the Element Produced joint.
Yeah.
Or the earlier.
Yeah, I got that around my way on
So
physicals.
if you were looking for more rare stuff, go check out that stuff there. What's your immediate plan for like the summer? Summer's here. It's getting hot. Once again, stay out of the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Let the 5 tracks pass by before you stick your head out to be curious. What's your plan for the summer? It seems like everyone in New York is ready to just enjoy the summer.
Well, I'm gonna be on the shows is opening back up, so August we booked up for a few venues and all that stuff, and I'm also be on the road with Joe. He's back on the road performing, so we're gonna be moving. I'm dropping a whole lot of more music, so I got Magnum Opus coming. June 11th. Right after that, Prayer Weed and Music. That's following up. That's one of my other joints where it's just me. Bunch of producers. I got Statik. I might have Buck Wild. I'm not sure if Buck Wild's holding that joint, or we got in the cut for himself, or he gonna let me rock that. But I got a few names. I got Wavy the God on there. A few producers on there. Collective. And then in between that, Enigma Dolly. That Vanderslice joint is coming.
Yeah, Vanderslice
is in the process. I don't know vinyl. Something's up with the vinyl over there. So shout out to Fat Beats and all the people curating that situation. And a lot more music, man. Me and J Hart just finished our joint yesterday. We listened to the final. We was listening to it, so now it's gonna go in the mix. And just the rest of the year, I'm going I'm dropping.
Well, I'm not gonna pay rent. And save that money for when it comes out.
Yeah, don't worry. You need anything for me? Yeah, I got you.
Who needs rent money? Not me. It's the summer. I'll go in the park and chill.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
I definitely got something signed for y'all, man. Some merch and all that, man.
Crush a Lot podcast. check out the YouTube page, check out the podcast. Yeah, we're gonna try to do this every Thursday.
We're busy.
We're
Doing stuff too.
quality-
Okay.
Yo, get
Quality
off their
control.
backs, man. You know, people got lives, man. They got a
Stop.
kid.
If I
man,
don't
she
DM
running
you back,
around,
it's because I don't want to DM you back. It's
Yeah, man,
just
do
how
what
it
you
is.
gotta
But
do, man.
you know, perfect. Peace and all that stuff on the audio side of things.
Yo, thank you
Right.
for having me again.